Hi, pregnant mama. Oh, isn't it lovely getting home at the end of the day and leaning back on your sofa and putting your feet up and spending a few hours like this every night? I'm afraid that I've got news for you. This is increasing your chance of having a posterior baby, a backache labour and a long labour, which might lead to interventions. Why? It's all about gravity. So here is what a little baby might look like, and the heaviest part of the baby is its skull and its brain, which is situated mainly at the back of the baby's head. So wherever you spend time, that part of your baby is going to sink to the bottom just like a pebble on a pond. So you might walk around all day and hopefully the baby will sink head down. Most babies do, some stay head up, but down. And then the heaviest part of the baby is just going to sink to the position that you've created for it. Now, when a baby's in a position where it's facing toward the front, the back of its skull presses against the back of your spine, creates a whole lot of pain during labour. Mums often need to have an epidural, and then their contractions slow down, so then they need a drip to speed up the contractions. Labour might progress, baby might turn, but often what happens is baby becomes distressed, or the mum just doesn't progress, the labour doesn't progress, and she ends up having a caesarean. You can do a whole lot to avoid that, first of all, by not sitting like this on your lounge anymore. So how can you lie on your lounge? Well, you can lie sideways. So lie sideways on your lounge. This is actually a lounge now. Now this is still twisting your pelvis. So if you were going to lie sideways to watch TV, then lie sideways like this so that your pelvis is still fairly even. Spend some time this way. When you need to get up and go to the loo or during the abs, turn the other way, sit the other side. Hopefully hubby will give your feet a little bit of a rub at the same time. How else can you use your lounge? Well, get off your lounge and sit down on the floor, lean back against it. Maybe someone will sit behind you, give you a little shoulder rub. Wouldn't that be nice? And you can change positions with your legs and you can move from side to side. You can maybe even do a few of your yoga stretches during the abs. Wouldn't that be nice? Otherwise, find other places to sit. Maybe if you're sitting on the floor, you could lean forward onto a coffee table. If you've got some other furniture, you could perhaps sit on a chair and lean forward like this for a little while, or lean forward over a coffee table. If you've got chairs that don't have arms, this is a fabulous position to use. So sit like this and lean forward. Now someone can come and sit behind you and give you a beautiful back rub. There's lots of back rubs and foot rubs involved in this process here. So this can be quite comfortable even if you're sitting talking to people. See how your pelvis is now in a good position. You're not slouched back and sitting like a banana and sitting on your tailbone. So if you can just sit down now and have a little bit of a feel of your pelvis, sit on your hands and have a little roll around. Now you might not be as bony as I am, but around there somewhere you're going to feel these two sitting bones. They're actually called uritial tuberosities, but let's call them our sit bones, and that's because we're meant to sit on them. We're not meant to sit back if you slouch back so that you form a banana. We're not meant to sit back on our sacrum and our tailbone. That can cause a whole lot of backache. It causes a whole lot of discomfort for all the back muscles. We can't breathe properly. We can't possibly breathe properly because we're supposed to breathe from our respiratory diaphragm. So if you just sit upright, put your hands on your lower ribs, that's where your diaphragm is. Now your diaphragm can move to breathe. If you slouch now, slouch, feel how that's squashed, you can't breathe properly. All your breath's going to move into your upper chest. That's going to make you send the message to your body that you're breathless and that you're anxious. You and your baby don't need that. So sitting back like this is often how we sit in the car. Slouched like this, we sit in chairs, we sit at our computers, all really bad for the position of your baby, your pelvis, your body, your health. So if you want to sit on a chair, sit upright, use a pillow behind you. Wiggle your bottom right back, have your feet flat on the floor, and now all the curves of your back are supported. You're open, plenty of space for baby, and if you wiggle from side to side, you can feel that you're sitting on your sit bones. And spend some time leaning forward. That's going to create a beautiful hammock out of the belly, the front of your uterus and your belly for your baby. so that the heavy part of your baby can sink down and just rest in the curve of your belly facing toward the back. So if you spend any time in uncomfortable positions, spend as much time upright and leaning forward. And when you spend time like this, you're going to find that your back feels a whole lot better anyway. What else can you do? You can sit on a ball. Every pregnant woman needs a good gym ball, because now your pelvis is nice and mobile. So lots of beautiful circles all the way around, not just little, but nice big circles all the way around the other way. You can rock from side to side. You can pretend that you're rollerblading down the Strand, getting some beautiful movement of the pelvis. And of course, you can tilt the pelvis forward and back, and you can even do a nice cat stretch here and opening back up. In fact, you could do your whole yoga practice sitting on the gym ball if you wanted to, and little bounces are nice. When you're in the car, if you can't avoid being in the car to drive, maybe get yourself a blanket to sit on, or a beach towel, just something to lift you up a little bit higher, and put a pillow in the curve of your lower back. And now you're sitting up nice and comfortably, rather than spending 20 minutes, 40 minutes, maybe even an hour in the car, constantly encouraging the baby into that posterior position. So mums, when you're standing upright and moving around, especially if you've got another child, don't spend your time tilted like this, holding your toddler on your lap. Please make sure that you're nice and loose and free through your pelvis. Get that baby into the ideal position for birth. It's going to make your labour a whole lot easier, smoother, faster, and it might even be euphoric.